breathe.
Sorry, what was that?
That's it. Just breathe. It sounds like, the kind of advice you'd find on a yoga mat or something.
Or bumper sticker, yeah.
Exactly. But according to this stack of sources we're diving into today, it might just be the single most important instruction for everything.
It does feel a little simple, though. I mean, we're talking about high performance, business strategy, even literary masterpieces. And the big advice is just inhale, exhale.
That was my exact thought when I first saw the list. I was like, okay, are we just doing a meditation app today? But when you start connecting the dots from, say, Thich Nhat Hanh to someone like Seth Godin, that one action, breathe, it becomes the anchor for everything else.
It's the simple but not easy solution.
Yes. And the whole premise here is fascinating. The argument is that we spend our whole lives searching for home, right?
Mm-hmm. In our jobs, relationships.
Zillow listings, the next big achievement. But the sources say we're completely ignoring our first home.
Yeah.
The body. And until you actually learn how to live there, to inhabit it, all the other stuff, the success, the learning, it just can't land. It's like trying to furnish a house you haven't even built.
It reminds me of that amazing sketch that was in the notes, the one called unknowing.jpg. It just visualizes the problem so perfectly.
Oh, I love this thing. Okay, so for everyone listening, just picture this. It's a simple drawing. On the left, you've got this little bird. We'll call him the ignorant bird.
Right.
He's got a backwards baseball cap, a little scarf. He looks kind of cool, but also lost. And he's asking, what are other words for unknowing?
And on the other side, you've got the graduated bird. He's all sorted out with a graduation cap and glasses, looking super scholarly.
And between them is the answer to the first bird's question.
Yeah.
And it's just this brutal list of synonyms. Let me read a few. Ignorant, unwitting, uninformed, unaware, oblivious, unconscious.
Oof. It reads like a list of insults.
It totally does. And that's how we usually take words like ignorant, right? As a knock on our intelligence. Like, oh, I haven't read enough books, or I don't have the data.
But if you look at that list, again, through the lens of our other sources, that bird on the left, he's not stupid.
No.
No. Look at the words again. Unconscious, oblivious, unaware. These aren't about a lack of brain power. They're about absence.
That's a huge distinction. So you're saying he's ignorant just because he isn't home.
Precisely. He's just not there. You can't get from the bird with the backwards hat to the bird with the graduation cap if you never even show up to the starting line.
Which brings us to that amazing quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that really anchors this whole thing.
Your body is your first home. Breathing in, I arrive in my body. Breathing out, I am home.
It sounds so poetic, but you're saying it's actually technical?
It is.
Breathing in, I arrive. Okay, let me play devil's advocate. I mean, I feel like I'm here, I'm sitting in this chair, I'm talking to you.
Are you? Or is part of your brain thinking about that email you have to send? Or replaying some conversation from yesterday?
Guilty.
See, that's the modern dilemma. We're scattered, we're fragmented across, a 1,000 different moments.
So my body's in the chair, but my mind is in 3 different time zones.
Exactly. And if you're not in the command center, who's flying the plane?
Autopilot. Or panic.
Right. And that connects directly to this idea of understanding. The source says, before giving your opinion, be sure you understand the situation. But the argument here is you literally cannot understand something if you're holding your breath against it.
Because holding your breath is like rejecting it.
It's a defense. Think about it. When you get startled or overwhelmed, what's the first thing you do?
Tense up, stop breathing.
You abandon the house, you go into fight or flight, and in that state, you can't access higher reasoning. You can't understand anything because you've evacuated. True understanding requires the safety of being present.
So to get from the ignorant bird to the graduated bird, the first step isn't a textbook. It's a breath.
It's the bridge. The breath is the only thing that connects the mind back to the body.
Okay, I'm with you on the psychological angle.
Yeah.
But then the sources take this hard right turn into, of all things, business strategy. We've got Seth Godin talking about panic.
And this is where it gets so practical. Godin talks about how we deal with big problems.
Yeah.
A crisis hits, you lose a client, a project's on fire. What's the instinct?
He lists them out. Declare war, drop everything, hyper-invest. And then he says, and hold our breath.
Did you catch that?
Hold our breath. It's right there in a business book.
It's not a metaphor. When we face a crisis, we literally freeze. We think, I have to solve this huge E thing right now, and we physically lock up. But Godin's point is that you can't solve a complex system problem by shutting down your own internal system.
That's a great way to put it. We are the fundamental system.
Exactly. If you hold your breath, You're restricting oxygen to your brain. You're triggering a stress response. You are cutting off the very resources you need to think your way out of the problem.
So instead of that panic, Godin suggests small solutions.
Right. Big problems need small solutions. He talks about adjusting information flows. And in the body, the small solution is the breath. It just tells your nervous system, hey, we're safe, we're here, we can think now.
It's the complete opposite of that hustle culture panic, isn't it? Where you just run around with your hair on fire.
He calls it persistent yet impatient work.
I love that phrase, persistent yet impatient.
It's a beautiful paradox. You're not frantic, but you're not passive either. You're engaged, but from a place of regulation.
Yeah.
You can't build a real strategy if you're, homeless, if you've abandoned your body to live inside your anxiety.
That idea of building a strategy instead of just panicking, that takes us right to the creative part of the deep dive. Herman Melville,
Lily Dick.
The Whale. 589 pages. If I had to write that, I would absolutely be holding my breath. I'd be terrified.
But he didn't start with 589 pages. The sources say he started with a foolscap.
Which is just a planning sheet, basically.
A single sheet of paper. He just sketched out the acts. Pequod sets out, they search, they duel to the death. That's it.
So he took this monster problem and found a small solution, just like Godin said.
Exactly. But here's the real connection. How did he write it? He didn't sit there worrying if it would be a classic.
He didn't stay in that unknowing state of just wondering what if.
No. He just showed up. He arrived at the desk. He breathed. He wrote a page. The book grew with each breath.
There's a quote from Karen Horney in the notes that fits so perfectly here. Life itself still remains a very effective therapist.
One of my favorite lines in the whole stack. We think we have to analyze all our blocks before we can work. Why am I procrastinating?
Right, like we have to fix ourselves first.
But Horney's saying no. The work is the therapy. The act of showing up, of breathing through the resistance. That's what resolves the conflict. Melville didn't need to analyze his writer's block. He just needed to breathe and write.
So you graduate from ignorant to enlightened, not by thinking about the work, but by inhabiting it.
By inhabiting the moment, yes.
Okay, so we've got the writer, the strategist, but the sources go one step further, into the arena. High-pressure environments. We're talking Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali.
This is where the cost of checking out, of not being home, gets really high.
Let's start with Rosa Parks. She said, when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear.
Okay, but let's unpack that word knowing.
Yeah.
In this context, it's not just an idea, it's a state of presence. She didn't make that decision out of panic or dissociation. It was from an arrived understanding.
She was home.
She was fully home in her conviction. And because of that, fear had nowhere to live. Fear needs you to imagine a terrible future. If you are 100% in the present moment, fear can't get a foothold.
That connects to what the psychologist Michael Gervais says about the razor's edge. He says to get into rugged environments and learn how to enjoy being there.
Enjoy it. That sounds impossible to most people.
Right. If I'm on a razor's edge, my goal is to get off, not enjoy the view.
But that's because most of us experience it while holding our breath. We're drowning. The sources make this critical distinction between drowning and suffering consciously.
Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That's Ali.
That's Ali. But he's not talking about pointless pain. He's talking about staying present inside the discomfort. The champion breathes through the pain. The amateur feels pain and checks out. They dissociate, they quit, they panic.
So the enjoyment Gervais is talking about isn't pleasure, it's the satisfaction of capacity.
Exactly. It's that feeling of, okay, I am here, this is hard, the pressure is on, but I haven't abandoned my post. I am still at home.
There's that Duffy Daugherty quote, the difference between good and excellent is a little more effort.
And here, that effort isn't just physical, it's the mental effort to stay present. It takes energy to not check out when things get tough. That's the little more effort that makes a champion.
It's amazing how it all weaves together. The ignorant bird checks out, the graduated bird, the champion, the writer, stays in the room.
They stay in the body.
So let's make this really practical. Because someone listening right now isn't about to fight Muhammad Ali. Maybe they're just prepping for a meeting. The sources gave some really specific rapid-fire tactics for arriving home.
Yeah, let's do the toolkit.
Okay, first one, sit in the front row.
It's literal, but it's also a mindset. Don't hide. When you sit in the back, you're telling your body you want to be invisible. The front row forces you to occupy the space.
It's scary, though.
It is. But the advice is to sit there and breathe into the fear. Own the chair.
Okay, next, physicality. fixed posture, walk 25% faster, make eye contact, smile big.
These are all signals to your system that say, I am here. When you slump or look down, you're hiding. Expanding your physical presence is like opening the doors and windows of your first home.
Then there's the hustle muscle.
Use it. But, and this is the key, don't do it frantically. Do it with intention. Hustle with presence, not with panic.
I like the Les Brown tip. Review your goals twice a day.
It's essential.
Yeah.
But there's a caveat the source adds that I think is brilliant. You have to breathe in to receive the goal first.
What does that actually mean?
It means if you just glance at your goals while you're stressed and shallow breathing, it's just a to-do list that makes you feel bad. You have to take a breath, arrive in your body, and then look at the goal. Then it lands somewhere it can actually grow.
And lastly, Aldous Huxley. Carry the spirit of the child into old age.
And what do little kids do?
They play, they scream,
They just are.
they breathe. Have you ever watched a toddler breathe? Their whole belly moves. They haven't learned to hold their breath against life yet. They are 100% home in their bodies. That's the spirit we're trying to get back to.
So if we zoom all the way out, we started with this sketch of a confused bird.
The ignorant bird, yeah. Looking for synonyms for unknowing.
And we figured out his problem wasn't a lack of information, it was that he wasn't there.
He was absent.
And to become that graduated bird, we don't need to cram more facts. We just need to return to the body. It's a cycle, though. And that's really important. You don't just arrive once and you're done.
Right, it's not a diploma you hang on the wall.
No, it's the breath itself. Inhale. I arrive. Exhale. I am home. Then you go out in the world, you get stressed, you become the ignorant bird again. And then what? You take another breath. You come home. It's a constant rhythm.
Your body is your first home. That Thich Nhat Hanh quote is going to stick with me.
It really changes everything if you let it.
Before we wrap, I want to leave everyone with one last thought from the sources. It's this paradox from Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever.
That's the ultimate balancing act, isn't it?
It feels impossible. You have the panic of dying tomorrow versus the infinite patience of learning forever. How do you hold both of those at once?
It feels like a total conflict. Urgency versus calm.
Exactly. So here's the question. How can you hold that urgency and that patience at the same time?
You can only do it if you're anchored.
You can only do it in the breath you are taking right now. If you're not home, the urgency just becomes anxiety. And if you're not home, the learning just becomes noise.
The breath is the fulcrum. It's what lets you hold the fire of urgency and the cool water of patience at the exact same time.
So to everyone listening, you've got a lot to do today. You have goals and problems and people to see. But before you do any of it,
Come home
breathe.
and be